Well, good morning. What a beautiful day, a great day to celebrate. Good to be here. Hello, folks on live stream. So, we have Doug Jones and Lukeman Frank.
Holy God of our faith, you are welcome in this place. You are welcome in this place. Holy God of our faith, you are welcome in this place. You are welcome in this place. Come fill our hearts up. Come fill our hearts up with your presence. Come fill our hearts up. Yes. Come fill our hearts up with your presence, sweet Lord, sustain us. Holy God of our faith, you are welcome in this place. You are welcome in this place. Holy God of our faith, you are welcome in this place. You are welcome in this place. Come fill our hearts up. Yeah. Come fill our hearts up with your presence. Come fill our hearts up. Come fill our hearts up with your presence, sweet Lord, sustain us. Sweet Lord, sustain us. 'Cause you carry me. You carry me in the name of love. You carry me. You carry me in the name of love. You carry me. You carry me in the name of love. You carry me. You carry me in the name of love. You carry me. Oh, you carry me in the name of love. You carry me. You carry me. Come fill our hearts up. Come and fill our hearts up with your presence. Come fill our hearts up. Come fill our hearts up with your prayer. Come and fill our hearts up, Lord. Come and fill our hearts up with your presence, sweet Lord, sustain us. Sweet Lord, sustain us. Sweet Lord, sustain us. Sweet Lord, sustain.
Let's get a little more love to our fantastic musicians today. Doug Jones on piano, Luke Monfranc on vocals. Beautiful. Good morning. Pleasure to see you all here today. I am Robert Leeds. Welcome to the Oakland Center for Spiritual Living, where we teach spiritual principles and practices that nourish us, uplift us, and celebrate our oneness with all of life. But you already knew that. A special welcome to those of you who are joining us for the very first time. We're so glad to have you here in the sanctuary with us. If you are here for the first time, if you wouldn't mind raising your hand, the ushers have a welcome packet for you. Any first timers? Oh, there we go. Also, a big welcome to everyone joining us via YouTube Live. Hi, YouTubers. Whether you're here in person or joining us online, we are grateful for your presence, especially during this sacred and exciting time as we spend the next 3 weekends meeting with the candidates for our senior minister position. I want to take a moment to thank the new minister search committee and the board of trustees for all their hard work in shepherding the community through this process, as well as the support we've received from the Centers for Spiritual Living home office. They've been great. It is our custom in this village to bless our children, whether they're across the courtyard in the education building or spreading their light across the globe. And there it is, join me. We honor all our youth and our children in our community and the world. We love you, we see you, you are Spirit's gift to us. Thank you for being in our lives, and so it is. Next Wednesday, October 12th, practitioner emeritus and always stylish, Carmen West Jefferson, will share her ideas about Let It Flow. Meditations at 6:30, services at 7, and that is always on Zoom. Next Sunday, October 16th, Senior Minister candidate Reverend Sunshine Michelle Coleman will speak to us on playing with money. I want to play. Followed by a Q&A, lunch, and then her workshop in the sanctuary 1:30 to 3 on sacred beginnings and endings. Speaking of money, we have a great course coming up called Manifest More Money, and I think we have a little video preview here. Let her roll.
I'm Reverend Cheryl McCreary, the creator and facilitator of Manifest More Money. You know, so many of our New Thought communities, our members are struggling right now about money. There's constant news of inflation, recession, gas prices, and it's easy to forget the truth. The truth is we live in an abundant universe. The truth is that unlimited abundance is our divine birthright. It's time to heal our relationship with money. If that's work you want to do, I invite you to join me in the online course, Manifest More Money. We're kicking off on October 31st. We are going to do a deep dive into spiritual practice and practical actions to help you bust through your money set point, to help you release old toxic money beliefs that are holding you back, to help you manifest more money with ease and grace, and to help you move into divine right relationship with money. If that sounds like work you want to do, I want you to join me on October 31st. Now, the good thing is your center has its own unique registration link, and I want you to use that link and that link only to register for this course. When you do, your center will receive a percentage of your registration fee. I am partnering with your center's profit sharing, so we all benefit. Listen, we're going to kick off on Mondays, 6:30 to 8:30 p.m. Pacific time, starting October 31st for 5 Mondays. I hope you'll join me. I look forward to seeing you there. I will see you in Manifest More Money. Bye.
Cool. And one of the reasons the topic of money is up is because this is Pledge Month. So make sure you get your pledge cards in. One of the wonderful ways our center connects and contributes to the world around us is through our nonprofit partner program. If you love that program, please submit your nonprofit recommendations for 2023. You can download the application from the Village News or from the nonprofit partner page on the website. Look in the drop-down under About Us. Applications for 2023 are due next week, October 14th, so it's coming up fast. In addition to Pledge Month, it's also Membership Month. If you're ready to take the next step in commitment to Oakland Center for Spiritual Living, please read all of the information on the membership page. That is also on the About Us tab, and then click on Membership. For details of upcoming events, workshops, and classes, please go to the Thursday Village News, oaklandcsl.org, the welcome table in the courtyard, and also the rotating slideshow before and after service. If you haven't already, check out our beautiful redesigned website. And don't forget, you can follow us on Instagram, YouTube, and Facebook. Now, get on your feet and let's read our vision and mission statement with gusto. The vision of the Oakland Center for Spiritual Living is to joyfully reveal the love and oneness of God. We are a welcoming and inclusive spiritual community dedicated to individual transformation and collective growth. Our purpose is to love, inspire, and serve our community and the world through education, music, prayer, and play. Have a great week.
All right. Well, my name is Teresa Gardner, and I am a licensed prayer practitioner here. And it's so good to see you all here. It's a very exciting day for us as we start our candidating process. Yay, yippee. How y'all doing? Good, good. All right, so we're going to start out with focusing on our, calling forth the qualities for our senior minister that we're calling forth now. So there's some words here, some feelings, some qualities that we are calling in. If you'll take a look and just call the ones that call to you, just call them forth within you. Let's just take a moment just to bring forth those beautiful qualities of the one. And there's a covenant that may be in the chair right before you if you want to take a look at it. Now these qualities are accumulation. The whole covenant is of visioning that we have done as a community and as individuals. So let's just take another moment to just sit and go within. Just settle in. And we call forth unity and wisdom. All the other aspects of the one that we have visioned for, that we are seeking to embody within ourselves as we bring forth our greatest good for our new senior minister or ministers. So good to embody them ourselves, calling them forth. As we move into the readings for the day, I invite you just to stay in the energy of our covenant. Close your eyes if you want. Our first reading today is by our founder, Ernest Holmes. It is only as we allow the divine current to flow through us, in and out, that we really express life. Love that. And our second reading is Tasha Silver from It's Not Your Money. Change me into one who can fully love, forgive, and accept myself, so I may carry your light without restriction. Let everything that needs to go, go. Let everything that needs to come, come. I am utterly your own. Such gratitude for this day as we open. We are the ones. We open right here, right now, to this beautiful presence, this one power that lives and breathes right here. It is everywhere present. There is no spot where this beautiful magnificence is not. It is everywhere being itself, the ground of all being, the ground that we live and breathe and have our being grounded in. We are one with this magnificence. It is what has created us and lives and breathes and flows easily through us now. It is that perfect joy, that perfect unity and wisdom, calling forth all creation out of itself with ease, with magnificence, with love. That is what we stand upon right here, right now. Opening up to that life as our life, our presence, the very heartbeat. We are one with all that is, that magnificence, that wisdom. We open and let it be our life. It is our life, that magnificent Holy One. We are wrapped up in its love. This service comes together through the arms and hands of love, through the wisdom and beauty and joy of life. It flows easily through us now as we open to the words, to the wisdom of Reverend Susan Overland, as she brings the perfect message that lifts us up in unity and in wisdom. There is something magical going on this very day. It is a blessing. We are that celebration of life that lifts ourselves and all others up. This day is a good day, and we bless all hands that have come together to make this day what it is. We celebrate who we are and whose we are today. We are the perfect village, complete and whole. And we open up and say yes. We hear all that we need to hear. It flows in and around and through us. And we say yes to love, yes to life, yes to the wisdom and clarity and the good being revealed through our beautiful Reverend Susan. This day is a good day. This day is our new favorite day. We say yes. Aha! And we let it flow. And I let go in this perfect day. And so it is. Ashe. Thank you. Thank you. Now, Doug Jones and Luke Manfrank. Thank you.
What am I to do? What am I to feel? I am like a child, and you are with me still. What am I to do? How am I to feel? I am like a child, and you are with me still. Listening in the silence, even in the silence, everywhere you are, oh, everywhere you are. Let my soul surrender. Greater I shall be with what I came to do, and what I came to see. Let my soul surrender. Greater I shall be with what I came to feel, with what I came to see. Let my soul surrender. Greater I shall be with what I came to feel. Let my soul surrender to the heart of God. Let my soul surrender. Greater I shall be with what I came to do, what I came to feel. Let my soul surrender. Let my soul surrender. Greater I shall be with what I came to do, what I came to see. Let my soul surrender. Let my soul surrender. Let my soul surrender. Let my soul surrender. Let my soul surrender to the heart of God. To the heart of God, y'all. I'm gonna surrender to the heart of God, yes. Let my soul surrender to the heart of God.
Doug Jones and Lukeman Frank. Doug Jones and Lukeman Frank. Good morning, Oakland Center family. My name is Zoe DeMuro, and as president of your Board of Trustees, it is my honor to welcome you to Sunday service and to welcome the first of our candidates for the position of Senior Minister, Reverend Susan Overland. Now, before I read her bio, please bear in mind that you have evaluation sheets, which you'd have gotten in the lobby, which are for your use to help you recall important factors when it's time for you to vote. You'll be able to evaluate each candidate's Sunday service, the question and answer service, which is going to follow this service, and a workshop, all of which will be presented here in the sanctuary. We have a great day in store for you, so let's get going. What can I tell you about Reverend Susan Overland? Called to dedicate her life to inspiring transformation and possibility in the lives of others, Reverend Susan left her successful career at Hewlett-Packard in 2009, received her MA degree from Holz Institute in 2011, and was ordained a minister for life in 2013. Her corporate background has been a tremendous asset when it comes to organization and planning, program management, and event planning. In her 21 years at CSL San Jose, where she has been an associate minister and second in command since 2011, she's worn every hat from board secretary to board president, from business operations administrator to programs core coordinator. She also began the first diversity and inclusion team in San Jose, which is now called the Conscious Inclusion Circle. Reverend Susan used her theater background and founded Center Stage Productions at CSL San Jose. She loves finding ways to teach science of mind through theater? True theater. It's a little bit of Brooklyn. Through theater, and has co-authored a variety of Science of Mind summer programs such as The Wizard of Sam, Snow White and the Seven Gurus, and So It Is, the Game Show, just to name a few. Her Brooklyn upbringing, along with her down-to-earth practical wisdom and wicked quick sense of humor, makes her a gifted speaker, writer, and facilitator. Reverend Susan is a creative, passionate teacher, and not just at the local level. She also teaches church organization and management and the art of spiritual leadership for the Napa, Redondo Beach, and San Diego campuses of our Holmes Institute School of Leadership. In 2021, she began serving our denomination as the Region 3 Support Coordinator. Sometimes she actually goes home and spends time with her husband, Max, and their dog, Kara, a 10-pound Maltipoo, which allows them to share her home. She is most proud of her title, Nana, which she is known to her 4 grandchildren. I give you Reverend Susan Overland.
Give me a hug. Oh. Hi. How we doing? We just had church. I can't even, how do I follow that? Come on. Seriously, it's like I just wanted to get up here and say, okay, thanks, bye. You look good. You doing good, Oakland? Why do I get on the pulpit and they start to cry right away? It's like, all right, so this is how it's going to go today. It's a time of deep emotion. You have a stunning history. And I know that you are bereaved because you had a beautiful man who came before. I passed one of my ministerial finals because, so Holmes Institute has rolling admissions. And it was the year I was supposed to graduate, or I did graduate, but my capstone, my final exams, there are 6 of them, and 2 of the classes hadn't come around yet in the rotation. So I'm like, I have to pass an exam for 2 classes that I haven't had yet. And your Reverend Jeff talked to a couple of his fellow students who were seniors, and they got permission from Dr. Kim Kaiser, our dean at the time, at the Napa campus, Santa Rosa campus, now it's Napa. And he granted them permission to hold a special session 2 Saturdays for the 7 ministerial students who are graduating. So I credit the fact that I passed at least one of my exams because of Reverend Jeff. And there's no way I'm going to tell you I know how you feel, because your feelings are yours. But I can tell you that the collective grief of a nation is very present. Of a nation coming out of the almost 3 years that we have gone through. In my personal life, my sister, I'm the youngest of 5. I have one sister who passed away when I was in my 30s because she was a heroin addict. My sister, who I call my second mom, because when she's 10 years older, and when she was going out on a date, she wasn't allowed to leave until I was asleep because I wouldn't go to sleep if she wasn't there. But during the summer of 2020, she had a very minor heart procedure, came through it with flying colors, and then in recovery, her heart stopped 3 times. She coded 3 times. And I am deeply grateful that the cardiologist didn't give up. He calls her his miracle lady. And then in 2021, my brother passed away. He was a retired construction worker. And when the planes hit the towers in 2011, he called his foreman and he said, I want to come out of retirement and I want to spend whatever time I have left rebuilding my city. There were a lot of toxins where those buildings used to be. And that's what took him out in 2021. And then a month after my brother died, my dog died. I know, my Christmas letter is going to be awful this year. Dear friends and family. So, and then the biggest blow, because just in case that's not enough, My oldest and beloved son, Stephen, told us in the summer of 2020 that his marriage was ending. And you know, we get past that. People divorce. I don't divorce my daughter-in-laws. She's still my daughter-in-law. But he also had to tell us that he had been struggling with an addiction. And he committed some white-collar crime to the tune of a felony. And in August of this year, I stood and spoke on his behalf in front of the judge at his sentencing hearing. So he is now serving a 4-year prison sentence in a minimum security prison in Kingman, Arizona. I know what grief is. But I will tell you that, and in March, my ex-husband passed away. My kids lost their dad. And my son Stephen said one of his greatest regrets is that his dad found out about this before he died. But I'm so proud of him. I don't mean that to sound weird. To have this man that I birthed acknowledge everything that has happened and say, I'm just going to do my time so that I can spend the rest of my life making it up to the people I hurt. He has 2 kids. They're fine. We will be fine. And I share all of that with you because, you know, first of all, you need to know what you're getting. Like, damn, she's got some crazy stuff going on. But I want to dispel, excuse me, I want to dispel any myth that once a minister is ordained, you know, and they get their stole and they're a minister for life, well, you know, it's just the yellow brick road from there. No. We have lives. We have families. We have family heartache. We have loss. We have grief. So no, I'm not going to say I know how you feel, but I know how grief feels. Deeply. Deeply. And now I'm supposed to talk about money, which is just comedy. Ministers love the month of October. Let's find more creative ways to say, hey, we have bills to pay. But I'm going to start off. First of all, Reverend Jerry set us up beautifully last week, right? Because she was talking about swimming in the infinite, right? And she talked about abundance. She talked about treatment, that we have treatment. She talked about this vast expansiveness of the universe, which was really funny because my workshop this afternoon is about expansiveness, right? And our capacity to love and cultivate a divine heart. We have the power to do that. We have the teaching, the technology, this faith, philosophy, this way of life. I don't know about you, but I'm here for religious science. Hopefully you didn't wander thinking it was like, you know, Scientology or something. That's not us. Just kidding. But she talked about that, how big can you think, right? That expansiveness and that money, it's an exchange of energy, right? Suppose our currency was sand. Hopefully we'd never run out. And they're not easy conversations, right? It's not easy to be a minister and talk about it. And in life, it's not easy to talk about. Do you know people like who are dating, right? And you have these conversations because somebody's looking for their new best partner, and that you have these intimate conversations. They'll tell you like about the first date, the second date, and then they'll tell you about the third date and maybe what happened, right? And they'll show you a film. Look, film at 11. We have pictures, but don't ask what the bank balance is. We don't talk about that. We certainly in my family, we didn't talk about that growing up. Money was something that people argued about. Money was something that caused tension and frustration and angst. I'm just going to leave it all out there today. My dad drank. He worked hard until he didn't. And then he would get a new job, and we'd have to move, and we'd start a new school. My beloved sister Carol, who's no longer with us, started running away from home when she was 13. So I would walk to school and see posters in all the store windows. This was before milk cartons. Have you seen this girl? And I'd start a new Catholic school, by the way. And I'd start a new school, and the teacher would be taking the roll call, and all of a sudden I'd see this. Desego. And by the time I was in junior high, I'd say, yes, it's my sister. Because what do you do with that? But finances were this crazy thing that they didn't talk about, they just fought about it. And every year, there were 5 of us growing up, again, youngest of 5, and my mother would go into debt to try to provide Christmas, and then fight about it the other 11 months of the year. It was this crazy cycle. So money from the get-go was somewhat of a taboo. But I read a beautiful quote preparing for today, this quote by Jill Wolk, W-O-L-K, and she said, "You can't water the roses if you're standing on the garden hose." I thought that was fantastic, because that's the universe. That's the universal symbol, right? That is the thing itself, the presence. We live in an abundant universe. Why did 54 million people in the past year have to have food assistance? Why is that happening? And if anybody is going to be able to transform that or make a change in that, it's going to start here, because we are religious science. We know better. We know about that abundant universe. So, yes, that too. So the 3 things. So the universe is infinite. There's abundance in every form: love, health, finances, financial freedom, creativity, an abundance of creativity, an abundance of everything. You know, some things that we don't want, right? 4 seasons in California: winter, spring, fall, and fire. So a little more water would be good. Caring for our planet would be good. But that infinite flowing reservoir, that thing about the hose, right? It's always flowing. We just have to get our foot off the hose. We have to not be constricted. You can't, if you're walking around like this, you can't receive. So the 3 things that I'm going to talk to you about, and maybe it'll all come together, maybe it won't, but the 3 things are: how much do you think you deserve? That's big. The second one is, how am I using the creative process? Because everything starts in the mind of God. And the third thing is, how can I serve today? Sweet Spirit, as the song says, right? How am I fostering a consciousness of generosity? Because it's about giving, but also, can you be a gracious receiver? I, in the past, have not been well known for asking for help. That was something I had to learn. I had to shift. I have a theater background, and isn't it funny? When you're a little bit nervous, all the moisture leaves your mouth and goes to your bladder. It's being recorded, isn't it? Hi, my virtual community. This is me. That's what actors joke about in the wings. Anyway, so Ernest Holmes, page 50, right at the beginning of the Science of Mind text, he says, "Here and now, we are surrounded by and immersed in an infinite good." How much of this infinite good is ours? All of it. All of it. Say that. All of it. Thank you. All of it. And how much of it may we have to use? All of it. As much as we can embody, though. is what he says, as much as we can embody. And Reverend Jerry alluded to that last week when she said, how big? How big can you be? How expansive can you be? So how much do you deserve? If we live in a universe that is really, I mean, with an extravagant expression of life energy, but we only allow a small trickle, if we're standing on the garden hose, then it's not an exchange of energy. I don't want like a trickle. I'm pretty good with all of it. I want to enjoy all of it. In the universe, the universe is always saying yes. So if there's a restriction, the restriction is never in the universe. It's not God. It's not, God saying, I really like the way he prays, you not so much. What kind of God is that? That's why I'm not in the Catholic Church anymore. And I loved my Catholic upbringing. It gave me these beautiful roots. But I was also the person that was going, wait, what? How's this baby going to hell because it wasn't baptized? What? It's a baby. What did the baby do wrong? Or the man who runs the dry cleaners is a lovely Jewish man. I know his family. I play with his kids. Why are they going to go to hell? Didn't make sense. So restriction, it's in us. That's where the restriction comes from. Max and I were married. Oh God, it's a test. No. 2001, Max, my husband Max. We got married in 2001, and right around 2007, we started to think it would really be nice if we had our own home. But here's why. I rescued a dog because I thought our lease said pets okay. So I rescued this dog, and you know how pets are. Anybody here have pets, dogs? How long does it take you to fall in love with that pet? What, before you get home? Like you're in the car, and we named her. And then we got a call, within 2 weeks or so? And the landlord said, you can't have a dog. And I went, what? That's not in the lease. And he said, no, cats are okay. I went, cats are okay and dogs are not okay? And we had to give up the dog. I know. I was heartbroken, and that's when the conversation started. But then it was, well, we're in Silicon Valley. So I thought, well, how far could we move? Like, what if we went out to maybe San Juan Bautista? How bad would that commute be? Because maybe we could afford that, I have to tell you a side story. San Jose, Cecil San Jose, my home center, we hired our new minister. We went through the same process. And she now has her letter of call. And she said, she started looking on Zillow. And the conversation she started having with herself was, well, maybe I don't need a kitchen. It was adorable. This is Reverend Rochelle. She's doing your Manifest More Money, which San Jose is also participating in. And she said, well, perhaps the bathroom doesn't have to be inside the house. She just started, but then she stopped. She stopped herself. But we were in that place in 2007. Well, what if we had a condo, right? Maybe a condo, we would still own it. It wouldn't be as big as a house, but it would be ours. Because really, I wanted a place that was my sanctuary. When we started writing what we wanted, it had nothing to do with how many rooms or anything like that, how many acres. It was nothing like that. It was, I want to live somewhere that is mine. It's my sanctuary, it's my home. I want it filled with music and laughter, and I want a dog, bleep. I want a dog, and I don't want anybody to tell me you have to give your dog back. That was heartbreaking. But then I went, we're practitioners. We should spend some time really thinking about this. So we didn't even go to a bank because we're so smart. It's not like we finances. It's not like we did the steps. Well, let's find out what we qualify for. We just kind of went, all right, well, let's wait and see what happens. March 31st, my birthday, my phone rang, and it was a member of our community who, about 8 months prior, his wife had been murdered. It was a terrible thing. And he called and he said, hey, someone told me that you and Max are looking for a house. And I went, well, that's it's kind of vague. Max and I are talking about a house, you know. His wife's name was Nancy. And he said, Nancy was talking to me last night, and she said, you need this house. And I was like, oh, I said, Jay, that's really sweet. And then I was worried that he was drinking, seriously. And he said, I realize I can't stay in this house anymore. He said, I'm never going to recover from this blow, this grief, if I'm in this house. And Nancy wants you to have it. He said, and I am ready to do whatever it takes for you and Max to be in this house. And I said, Jay, that's really sweet. He said, so what are you doing? And I said, well, we were going to go out to dinner. I said, it's my birthday. He said, oh, happy birthday, come over. So I said, sure, we can, make a detour. And he said, can you come right now? And I was like, okay. Because I was just saying yes, right? And we got in our car and we went and we looked at the house, and it's in the Rose Garden in San Jose, the Rose Garden area. I don't know if you know anything about it. It's 95126. It is a one-way street that's right off the Alameda and Nagley and Emory. And it's like these cute little 2 or 2.5 bedroom homes, 1 bath. Some have a garage, some don't. We have a garage that's not attached. But they're adorable. But around the corner, 2.8 million, 3.5, big mansions. So we figured out that our little street that was built in 1921, those homes, they had to be where the governess lived. They were like where the governess and the butlers and everybody lived. Because if you look around, the homes are ridiculous. And I walked in and fell in love. And he said, I don't want to sell it. I just want you to take over the mortgage. I want nothing. He said, I want no equity. And this man walked away from that home, and it was ours. No, really. I could talk to you. When I divorced, I had a piece of paper that said, to my ex's credit, or lack of credit, my divorce papers said that he would take responsibility for any and all debt prior to the date we divorced. Praise God. But you know what? That's a civil agreement. And the IRS doesn't recognize that. And he had very clever ways to make money that were never on the books. So guess who the IRS came after? Year after year after year. I worked for about 20 years without ever seeing a tax return. And in prac class, I thought, I have to stop living with an expectation that someone else is going to take care of this. And I opened the closet and I faced that dragon. And I picked up the phone and I called the IRS. And I was terrified of them, by the way. Terrified to make that call. And I got on the phone and I was sobbing with this woman who was really very kind. And I said, I just need you to not garnish my wages. I have a 14-year-old and a 17-year-old. I work 2 jobs. And I will make payments from now until the day I die. But if you garnish my wages, we will be living in the street. Because, by the way, I didn't even have a car. I worked 2 jobs and didn't have a car. Someone gave me one. I'll tell you about that at the time. So she said, tell me what you can pay. And I said something stupid like, how about $500 a month? And she went, really? You're working 2 jobs? This woman said that to me, an IRS worker. Said, okay, let's be logical. How much can you pay and still keep a roof over your head? And she said, how about 150? And I went, okay. She said, release the garnish right away. I'll send you some paperwork. I said, thank you. paperwork never came. I had to call them again. But guess what happened in February? This was like the fall. I want to say maybe 96 or something. It was later than that. Anyway, I opened the mailbox one day and there was a check from the IRS. And I was like, oh my God, now they made a mistake and they sent me money. And I called and I said, there's been a mistake. You sent me a tax return and I owe you money. And she's, you know, what's your social, blah, blah. And she said, different person than the first. She said, that file is closed. And I went, what? $36,000 debt was marked uncollectible. Can you take your foot off the garden hose? When you begin to say yes, when you work your practice, the universe will respond in ways that will leave you breathless. Breathless. Like $36,000, it was just gone. And here I was offering $500 a month just to please don't garnish my wages. There's a tithing story there. I wanted my kids to go to Catholic school because I valued the education. And they were scholarship kids, both my sons. They were Jesuit educated. And I did. I worked 2 jobs. I did the best I could. And one year, when they were in elementary school, we had moved to a new parish, and I volunteered constantly. I was on the parent-teacher group, PTG. I did fundraising stuff for our church, for their school. Because what I couldn't give in tithe, I made up in service. Because I thought that was really important, to be visible, to always be grateful for the education that they were getting and the scholarships that they were awarded. One time our pastor gave us the parish house to live in because my husband was out of work at the time. Not Max. Everything I say is not Max. It's in the before times. But we moved into this one parish, and this lovely couple knocked on the door one day, and they said, hi, we're from St. blah, 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 and we're part of the welcome team. And they brought us these beautiful baked cookies, and they had all these color brochures and stuff, and they said, these are the activities we have, like for your children. We have pottery classes in the summer, and we even have a summer camp, and there's a pool. And I was so excited because it was in walking distance from my house, and my mom was helping with the childcare. So my mom would be able to do things with them because she didn't really like to drive with the kids in the car. So I was so excited, and then at the end, she had a pledge card, like pledge envelopes, and talked about their pledge program. And then they said, and she talked about tithing, and I went, oh. I said, well, I'm already working 2 jobs, so we really don't have a lot to give. We give a little when we can, but we volunteer constantly. You can check with our former, head lead, Father Farana was his name, and he'll tell you that we're really dedicated. And she went, oh, well, I'll just take these papers back then, because all of this, it's for people who are members, tithing members. And they got up to leave. And I grabbed the box of cookies, and I met them at the door, and they said, don't forget your bleeping cookies. So then in May 2001, we were engaged to be married and set foot into a little place called Center for Spiritual Living, San Jose. And it was love at first sight. It really was. Been there ever since. And that October, it came time for the pledge conversation. And I looked at Max and I said, we're going to have to give back the cookies. Because I was not comfortable with that conversation. I had history. I had energy. But this man named David Bruner, some of you may know him, he was talking to us. We started in May, and in September, I was already in foundations class, right? So he was talking about, he said, what you give is between you and God. It is the spirit with which you give it. Can you give from a place of joy and generosity? And can you give in a consistent, identifiable way? He said, I don't care if it's $1 pledge, $100 pledge, $1,000 pledge. By the way, we'll take it all. Keep going. He said, but can you do it with the heart of a gracious giver in a regular and consistent, identifiable pattern? Don't just put your coins in a collection basket. Put it in an envelope and put your name on it. Because you are declaring to God, this place matters to me. You know, and a lot of my teachers say, it's hard to talk about money because people give to people. People don't give because you have tech needs, right? Because you need cameras, and you need video, and you need staff, and you need a building, hopefully, you know. I mean, it was nice that Jesus could talk by the ocean, but I don't think a whole lot of people are going to follow me and stand at the beach while I collect loaves and fishes. It's just not going to work that way, right? We've gotten used to things like plumbing. And we need a roof, and we need a parking lot, and we need lights. Thank you. We need electricity. I'm not the outdoorsy type. God bless you, Jeff. Can't tell you how many times he wanted me to go river rafting, and I just laughed at him and said, I don't even swim river rafting. What are you kidding me? Grew up in Brooklyn, we didn't have a pool in the backyard, and the community pool had rats in it. No. So anyway, I digress, sorry. I forgot where I was. Tithing. So I was asked to give it a try. Just try it. Just try it for a little while. And so I gave what I could, and I put my name on it, and I filled out a pledge card. And then I bought a house. And then $36,000 disappeared. Disappeared. And I gave more because I could. Because I could. I entered Holmes Institute not knowing, how am I going to pay for a master's degree? I'm the first one in my family with any degree out of 5 kids. How am I going to pay for a master's degree? I didn't finance a dime of it. Paid in full. All of it, because that was the other thing. Vision, make a vision board. If you have bills, just keep thinking every one of them. Paid in full. Paid in full. And the other thing that my teachers, that's what I was talking about, they tend to say, well, people give to people, not bills. Everything that happens in this building is for people. Everything. I've given that talk before. There is a roof on this building. You put a roof on a building during a pandemic. Come on. So did we in San Jose. We put a brand new roof on the building when we were shut down and giving was down, and we still financed a roof with the generosity of the community. We had a member call us from Scottsdale saying, I have never needed my community more than I need it now. So if you're a virtual member, everything we do is also for you. We're now with CSL everywhere. It's not just here in this building, but we need it. We need it to be able to reach everybody because everything we do, the classes, the talks, the music, they shouldn't have to work for free. Neither should your staff. Everything we do is for people. Teach and pray, pray and teach, Ernest Holmes said. It's what we do, it's what we have. And so when we talk about living in the flow, it will come back to you. Multiplied abundantly. I am living proof, I promise you. I guarantee you. I have been the recipient of stunning acts of generosity. I really did have an employer who said, you're working 2 jobs, so you don't have a car? Her husband happened to be a renowned plastic surgeon, and they lived in Monte Sereno. And they gave me a Volvo sedan. It was beautiful. It was beautiful. I no longer had to take the bus home at 10 o'clock at night when the mall closed after doing my 8-hour day job. And then going to work and sell perfume at Emporium. I did that. I'm sorry, I never sprayed people without asking. There's a song in The Sound of Music. Anybody see The Sound of Music? Do you remember the song Something Good? Perhaps I had a wicked childhood. Perhaps I had a miserable youth. But somewhere in my youth or childhood, I must have done something good. When I was 8, I had major surgery, and I needed 8 transfusions. And my brother-in-law, my sister's fiance, they weren't married yet, worked for, it wasn't Pac Bell at the time, he worked for the phone company. And he called his union. And his brother was a cop, and he called his union. And my family made the local news because the hospital had no idea what to do with the line of people who were lined up to donate blood to this 8-year-old. I've been in the supermarket line with food stamps, ready to put back my kids' Pepperidge Farm goldfish because we couldn't afford them. And the person next said, no, give her the goldfish. Stunning acts of generosity. And I don't know if I'll ever be able to buy somebody a car, you know. I may have to when my son gets out of prison. But I can buy goldfish and chocolate, and I can pray, and I can tithe, and I can love. Because that's why we're here. I'm serious. Say that louder.
Wisdom and kind words go a very long way.
Wisdom and kind words. It costs nothing to be kind. Nothing. And so I want to tell you that as we understand our consciousness, that our consciousness is the cause in our life. We recognize that the only work we need to do is to clear the congestion. Be open to receive. Be brilliant, because the brilliance of the infinite one is always shining. Don't shade your eyes. You're not going to go blind if you look at God. And when we become meek, that's what was meant in the Beatitudes. Blessed are the meek, because it's not about my way, or the highway. No, it's about the highway. That's what it's about. Abundance is natural, and we need to let it be. So please repeat after me. I let the universal abundance flow freely in my life. I am a receiving monster. I am who I am, and it's enough. I brought a bookmark for all of you. The book of the month that I've been using in San Jose, we've been using, is called It's Not Your Money by Tasha Silver, and she's got a beautiful abundance prayer. She recommends saying it every day for 8 weeks. If you didn't get one, Susan, they're out in front. Thank you, Susan. You have a beautiful community. This is not an election. I know you have to vote. Jerry Carter loves you. Francione loves you. Sunshine Michelle Coleman was a classmate. I'm here. And God's got this. God's got this. You cannot make a mistake in this process. So bless it as I bless you. Yes? Yes. Let's pray together. There's only one. There's only one life. That life is God. That life is perfect. It is my life now and the life of each and every person within the sound of my voice, and beyond that and beyond that. Our God is an awesome God. It is a God of beauty, abundance, love, expansiveness, infinite possibility. And our only job is to say yes. And you know, I get to be one with it. God is I am. God is life, I am life. God is love, I am love. God is power, I am power. God is abundance, I am abundance. It's not just on Sunday. I don't leave here and suddenly forget who I am. No. It is 24/7, 365. That is the gift of this philosophy, this faith, this way of life that has taught us that everything God is, I am. Not some of the things, not sometimes. Everything God is, I am. Yes. And because of that oneness, God is I am, I have incarnated in this form as Susan Overland to do what can only be done by me as Susan Overland, and so have you, because we are all connected. Every person here and beyond here is my brother and my sister on this journey. Every person is my community, not just at Clark Street, not just here in your building. It's the barista that makes my coffee at Phil's. I like Phil's. It's the supermarket checker who says, "Can I help you to your car?" And I say yes, even if it's just a gallon of milk, because I say yes, because maybe they just need to step outside for a few minutes and have somebody smile at them and thank them for carrying my gallon of milk to the car. God is, I am, we all are, and so I know that Oakland Center for Spiritual Living is here for a divine purpose. Every congregant, every member, every guest, every virtual member, every minister that has built the foundation upon which we stand, going all the way back to Ernest Holmes and before him. We are new thought. So let's have a new thought. Let's have a new thought that says we are infinite possibility, and we bless what has been, we honor what is now, and we welcome in our next greatest yet to be. Because we have work to do. That is the beauty of Oakland Center. You roll up your sleeves and you show up and you get it done, and your board needs you. Your minister needs you, past, present, future, whoever it is. Show up and say yes. Yes, I will give time, talent, treasure, because the science of mind will transform lives, build dreams, and reveal love. And maybe someday 54 million people can eat without having to beg for it. Maybe someday our brothers and sisters of color can water their neighbor's garden without somebody calling the cops on them, or send their kids to school without fear. There's so much we can do. Say yes. And be in constant gratitude, because the world loves a gracious giver and a gracious receiver, and it begins with thank you, Spirit. It is a magnificent universe, and I am part of it. And if anything that I have said today rings true for you, I invite you to be in the gratitude and to anchor this day, this prayer, this process, to thank your board and the search team and everyone who shows up. Say, thank you, Father, Mother, God, and anchor this prayer with me by saying, and so it is. Ashe, amen. I love you. Thank you. Indeed. Always. Oh. We are going to do our blessings. Yes? Is that what's next? Our blessings? Did I forget something? Dodie. There she is. Please don't tell me I put you to sleep. Come on, Dodie. Thank you, thank you. No. Thank you. We acknowledge these prayers, these beautiful prayers of our community. And while we do so, while we bless, do you call it your prayer box? Yeah. While we bless your prayer box, we also acknowledge the pastoral care ministry, right? So this month, you have a nonprofit partner. It's the East Bay SPCA. Puppies, cats, rabbits. And they're committed to the welfare of cats and dogs. Okay, not rabbits. In the communities that we serve, and we strive to eliminate. Wow, they strive to eliminate animal cruelty, neglect, and overpopulation by providing programs and education that support people and companion animals. How beautiful, thank you. Thank you for choosing them. For our Planet Mother Earth partnership, gratitude for her beauty and resilience, and our increasingly mindful stewardship of our planet. Pray for rain. Gray is my favorite season. Blessing our youth and our youth of the world, knowing that they're guided by the love, mind, and heart of spirit. Our children are not a program of the church. They are the future of science of mind. So thank you for all you do for them. And bring them back. We have good stuff for them. Blessing those in service, creating a world that works for everyone. Thank you, everybody from the kitchen to our ushers, to your practitioners, your board, your search team. Love, comfort, peace of mind, and healing for all those impacted by changes in whatever form. Taylor, Reverend Aikya. We love you, Aikya. Julie Marie, Paul Prado, and Tao and Bonnie Gonzalez. Let us continue to hold our world in prayer, knowing that peace is possible. Ukraine, Iraq, Iran, other parts of the world experiencing war and distress, the United States, and for everyone impacted by the violence of any type, let us pray for continued wholeness and safety from all the pandemic and any and all viruses and illnesses. And transition. I don't know if I was supposed to say that. I'm new at this. Please go within your heart and say the name right now. Let's take a deep breath. Go within your heart and say the name or names of anyone in need of prayer today. Speak it out into the sacredness of the sanctuary. Stephen. Brian. And so it is. Amen. Dodie, thank you. Yes, beloved. Thanks, everybody. Zoe, back to Zoe.
Reverend Susan spoke rather clearly and eloquently about the why of giving, so I'm simply going to talk about the how of giving. Can we bring up the slide? Yes. Okay. So, this is our affirmation around giving. So let's say this together, folks. With gusto, I give with joy. I'll get it right. Let's say it with gusto and get the right words. God is lavish and filling abundance. I am lavish abundance. I give with joy, and I receive with joy, and so it is. En español, Dios es abundancia, generosidad constante. Yo soy abundancia generosa. Doy alegría y recibo con alegría. Y así es. We have baskets in the front, we have baskets in the back. If you do give cash, these are the types of envelopes we're talking about, folks. You can donate through the website. We have Zelle, we have text, you name it, we have it. Please give to one another. Thank you.
I like that. Lavish. I am lavish abundance. That reigns for me. Lavish abundance. When there was no time, and before there was a number, Spirit did prevail in a song of ecstasy. And before I had a dream or a lesson to remember, Spirit gently held a song inside of me. So I sing a song of joy. I sing a song of knowing all is truly well, and that heaven is at hand. And even when I cry and I do not know where I am going, God's love does prevail, as God's love only can. And when there was no time, and before there was a number, Spirit did prevail in a song of ecstasy. And before I had a dream or a lesson to remember, Spirit gently held a song inside of me. So I sing a song of joy. I sing of something higher. All is truly well, and that heaven is the plan. Sometimes we may cry that the world became a liar, but God's love does prevail, as God's love only can. So I sing a song of joy. I sing of something higher. All is truly well, and compassion is the plan. Sometimes we may cry that the world became a liar, but God's love does prevail, as God's love only can. For when there was no time, and before there was a number, Spirit did prevail in a song of ecstasy. And before I had a dream or a lesson to remember, Spirit gently held a song inside of me. Spirit gently held a song inside of me. Spirit gently held a song inside of me.
Wonderful. All is truly well. Let's give another hand of applause for our wonderful Reverend Overland. Thank you so much. Thank you for sharing your wisdom and all your experience of abundance. Thank you, thank you. And thank you for being here today. Look at this great crowd. This is fabulous, fabulous. Oh my, yes, yes. It's like we're back. Okay, so I want to let folks know that in 15 minutes, we're going to have a question and answer with Reverend Susan Overland. So stick around for that. But before you do, we invite you to come back and have prayer with the practitioners that will be waiting for you. We love to pray. So anything heavy on your heart, or if you want to celebrate this day, come back and be with us. You can also sign up online and drop a prayer in the box in the back. We really love to pray with you, so give us a chance to do that. All right. Huh? It's our job. It's our job. We love our job. All right. So let's do the closing affirmation. Here we go. If you want to stand up, it's up to you. Here we go. All right. I now let the universal abundance flow freely in my life. And so it is. All right. You can exit the doors here, and you can meet Susan Overland in the courtyard, and then go to prayer, and we have the bookstore. Okay. All right. Thank you.
Use me, oh God, I stand for you, and here I'll abide as you show me all that I must do. Help me, y'all. I used to think God was the sun, God is the sun, but God's so much more than the earth or the stars of all of creation. God is creator, all in all, needing us to shine His light as me, as you. So use me, oh God, I stand for you, and here I'll abide as you show me all that I must do. Oh, command my hands, what must they do? Command my life, it's here for you. God is a love that heals all creation. God is creator, makes all things new. And God needs us to shine its light as me, as you. So use me, oh God, I stand for you, and here I'll abide as you show me all that I must do. Show me all that I must do. Show me all that I must do. Thank you. And so it is.